Okay, thank you everybody and welcome to my presentation tonight on supporting children through parental separation. It's about helping kids feel safe, heard and supported. Today we're going to talk about a really important and often difficult subject: how children experience parental separation and how we as parents can support them through it. Separation or divorce doesn't just affect the adults. It deeply affects our children, even when we try to shield them. So my goal today is to help you recognize signs that your child might not be coping well and to share ways that we can support them, to create safe spaces for conversation and to access resources when needed. This is what we're going to cover: signs that your child may not be coping, how to create a safe space so that they can open up, what supports are available if they don't feel comfortable speaking out, what children can do when they're not fine, but the parent doesn't actually realize that, long-term impacts of separation, and finally, the benefits of children spending time with both parents. So let's start with the signs that a child may be struggling with separation. Children don't always have the language to say what they're feeling, so it often shows up in behavior. Here are some things for you to watch out for: regression, like bedwetting, or you see that they're more clingy than usual, or that they act younger than that actually really are. Withdrawal, and that could be from friends or from family, or even from just activities that they normally engage in. Or sudden angry outbursts or big mood swings, lots of big emotions here. Or a drop in school performance, or even refusing to go to school. They may have trouble sleeping, they may have nightmares, and there's possible changes in appetite. And there may even be physical symptoms like headaches, even stomach aches. And a lot of this is often linked to their own internal stress. Emotionally, they might express guilt. They might say things like, "Oh, it's my fault." They may seem overly anxious or extremely worried or just sad. They may say things that suggest that they feel invisible or that they're stuck in the middle. These signs can vary depending on the age, of course, but if you notice any of these behaviors, it may be a signal that your child is having a really difficult time coping. So how can we help? The first step is creating a safe emotional space where your child feels that they can talk to you openly. And here are some key things that can help. Be present and listen. Sometimes your child doesn't need answers. They just need to know that you're listening. Validate their feelings. Let them know that it's okay to feel sad, to feel angry, confused, and even scared. Avoid blaming. Speaking negatively about the other parent in front of your child can make them feel caught in the middle. It's not useful. Use open-ended questions like, "How have you been feeling about everything lately?" Or, "What's been hard for you?" Give them an opportunity to say their piece. For younger children, conversations might happen more naturally through play, through drawing, or even bedtime chats. With teenagers, it might take more patience, but keeping that door open is essential. When children can't speak their truth, sometimes, even when we try to make space, children still don't open up. And that's not uncommon. So why does this happen? They may be trying to protect you, not wanting to add to your stress. They might feel guilty. They might feel scared. They might feel afraid to choose sides, or they simply don't know how to put their feelings into words. So what support is available? There's counselling, other types of therapies, especially play therapy for younger children. There are school counsellors. Sometimes kids open up more in that environment. There's child-focused helplines. They can be anonymous, or they are anonymous, confidential, free of judgment. There's trusted adults like grandparents, reliable teachers, there's coaches, and even family friends. We can gently let our children know that it's okay, that if they don't want to talk to us, there may be someone else that they feel safe with that they can go to. Sometimes parents think that they're fine, but they're not. Now, this one is hard. Sometimes we believe our child is coping well, only to find out later, and sometimes much later, that they weren't okay at all. So why might this happen? You know, children are incredibly loyal. They may say, I'm fine, because they think that's what we need to hear. Or they might feel that expressing hurt could make things worse for you or add stress, or even for the other parent. So what can a child do when they're not okay, but they don't feel heard? Encourage them to express themselves, perhaps in writing. They can write in a journal. They can write letters. They can then throw them away. They're not for other people to read unless they want someone else to read their stuff. But it gives them an opportunity to get it out of their body, out of their head. You can offer choices. You can say, do you want to talk to me, or would you rather talk to somebody else? And of course, saying something like that without judgment, so they don't feel guilty, whichever they choose. You can reinforce that their feelings are valid and important. They do belong to them, even if they're hard to say out loud. As parents, the best thing that we can do is stay tuned in. Just because they seem okay, it doesn't always mean that they are. So let's look at long-term impacts of separation. Separation can have long-term effects, but those effects depend on many things, including how much conflict is present and how supported the child feels. Some potential negative impacts, however, trust issues in future relationships, anxiety or even depression, struggles with self-esteem or even a sense of belonging. And then there's risk-taking behavior in adolescence. But, and this is really important, children can and they do thrive after separation, especially when parents stay involved and keep conflict away from the child. In fact, with the right support, many children develop emotional resilience, stronger communication skills, and a clearer understanding of healthy relationships. And now we've come to the benefits of time with both parents. So let's talk about something positive. It's the benefit of maintaining strong relationships with both parents, if that's a possibility. So even if the relationship between the parents didn't work out, the parent-child relationship is still essential. Benefits include emotional security and stability, a stronger sense of identity, the ability to feel loved and accepted by both sides, learning different life skills and values from each parent, spending quality time with both parents when safe and appropriate helps the child avoid feeling like they have to choose. Children thrive when they feel safe, when they feel loved and supported by both parents wherever possible. So, final thoughts to wrap up. Separation is a big transition for everyone, but children don't need perfection from us. They need us to be emotionally present, open to hearing them, and committed to supporting their well-being. If we notice the signs of struggle, create space for honest conversation, and seek support when needed, we can help our children feel safe and to feel seen, even during big life changes. So let's continue to put their emotional health at the center of our parenting. So I'd like to thank you so much for being here and for caring about the emotional well-being of your children. I'm happy